How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about what Donald Trump said as it relates to the condition upon which he would leave the White House. Now, this was during a press conference or something. I think, Trump took a few questions from reporters, and you know what the questions are going to be. Are you going to leave? When are you going to concede? When are you going to admit that you lost all this, that, and the third? That was the general tone of the questions, and it got pretty contentious. He had to kind of go back and forth with a reporter for a minute, and then the reporter asked him a question upon which he answered in an honest way. But there's much more to his answer than what you saw in the video. Now, speaking of the video, let's roll the clip in case you haven't seen it. In this clip, you'll see the reporters going back and forth with Trump, talking about, are you going to leave? Are you going to concede? And then you're going to say, well, hey, I'll leave the White House, but only under this condition. After we get done watching that, I'll talk about what he said there. I'll talk about what the reporter said there. Then I'll give you my 2 cents, my deep detail analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
This was a massive fraud between you people. Don't talk to me that way. You're just a lightweight. Don't talk to me that way. I'm the president of the United States. Don't ever talk to the president that way. All right, I'm going to go with another question. Go ahead.
So if the Electoral College does elect President-elect Joe Biden, are you not going to leave this building?
Just so you, certainly I will. Certainly I will. And you know that.
All right, you saw that, you heard that. Now, I think this should be just kind of a logical thing. If the electors go ahead and say, all right, Biden is the guy, he won, that's what it is, then it is what it is. I'm not going to just sit here and you got to pry me out of the White House, all this, that, and the third. All right. But that's a key word. If the electors go for Biden, if they're able to go for Biden, there's still a pretty big window in between right now, which is, Friday, November 27th, 2020. And when the electors meet, I think that's December the 14th or the 15th. So you got a little bit more time and you got plenty of court action happening. All right. You got Jay Sekulow and those guys, they are going to be available once it goes to the Supreme Court. Then you have guys like Giuliani and others on Trump's legal team. You have Sidney Powell, who's not officially on Trump's legal team, but is still helping. And you have many others filing lawsuits in different states who are trying to find information. You got all kind of independent people working to get to the bottom of the election results. I think anybody with a pair of eyes and a brain can understand that the election was totally fraudulent. Okay, we got to be able to get that point of view across first. In my humble opinion, I got to say that for legal reasons. But we know when we see 80 million votes for Joe Biden, it doesn't make any sense. All right. It's just ridiculous. There was no enthusiasm. There was no rally attendance. There was no online interest. There was nothing like that as it relates to, support for Joe Biden. People say, oh, well, nobody came to the rallies because it's the virus going on. It's a global pandemic, all this, that, and the third. That's what they say. But nobody watched it online either. So what's the excuse for that? Is the pandemic an excuse for not watching an event online? Online streaming services just, quadrupled and more during the pandemic. So why was nobody watching? Like I, as a regular guy, just on the YouTubes, I have many more viewers than Joe Biden has. Okay. Joe Biden rallies might get close to the kind of views that I get, which is not even a lot in the greater scheme of things. Okay. I know I'm not getting views like, some of the really big, 100 million subscribers or whatever, but I digress. The only time when Joe Biden rallies or events or speeches online would get any kind of views is when Barack Obama or somebody like that would show up, which was almost never. I think Barack Obama might have done one speech or one stump appearance for Joe Biden and one endorsement. Barack Obama pretty much stayed away from Joe Biden all throughout his run to try and become the nominee. And then when he became the nominee, he didn't really help that much. So the question is, how do you not campaign? You pretty much stay in your house in Wilmington. And when you do leave your house, you just come outside of your house on the front step, basically, and campaign from there. Or You go to like Camden, New Jersey, or Philadelphia, somewhere that's like really close by, you can pretty much drive to, be there in 30, 45 minutes, and you campaign from there. How is it possible that you get 80 million votes, which is more than Hillary Clinton? You're talking about like 15 million more than Hillary Clinton, 10 million more than Barack Obama, and Barack Obama ran an excellent campaign. Okay, I gotta just give him that. I gotta give credit where credit is due. I voted for him in 2008, and I regret it. I did not vote for him in 2012. I think he was a bad president, but as far as his campaign skills and his ability to read speeches, not be a public speaker, different story, I digress. He was a great speech reader and a great campaigner. And it was an historic election because the first quote unquote black mix, but first quote unquote black president. It was tremendous. So you mean to tell me that Joe Biden got 10 million more votes than him, all because of Orange Man Bad? You think that Trump derangement syndrome will just net you 10 million more votes than the next guy? I mean, come on. Like, be for real. It's just not even really a thing. Trump's base grew by over 8 million, I think maybe even 2 million. I think Trump got like 74 million votes, which was 10 million more than what he got. More like actually almost 12 million more than what he got in 2016. So if Trump base grew by that much, how did the Democrat base grow so much without any kind of accomplishments to show for it, all because of Orange Man Bad? If Orange Man was that bad, then why did Trump's base grow so much? It doesn't make any sense at all to me. People want to talk about, oh, population increased. Nah, that's not going to do it, because 2008, 2012, 2016 elections were not that much different when you're talking about the overall number of votes that were cast. And I think in 2012, the number of votes that were cast went down from 2008. So explain that. If it's about population increasing differences, it doesn't make any sense at all. So if I were Trump, I'd do what he's doing. Don't concede. Why would I concede? Okay, first of all, it's not over. There's plenty of court action going on. We're going to fight it until the bitter end. Now, like I said in the previous video, some are going to say, man, just give it up. Go to 2024. That's what we got to focus on now. What's the point in just giving up and focusing on 2024 if we're just going to, like, if we start now, then it won't be a 2024 or 2022 or 2026, 2028, 2030, 2032. It's a wrap, because clearly there's some fraudulent stuff happening. I don't know to what extent the fraud happened. There has been some cases of actual fraud with hardcore evidence, and I feel like we'll find more hardcore evidence as the days and weeks progress. I don't know to what extent the fraud is, but I do know that it's there. So why would I give up now? If I give up now, then it'll be the same thing happening in 2 years and 4 years and so on. So you got to just keep the fight going right now. And Trump is doing just that. Even if you are on the left, you're a Democrat, you hate Trump, you think Orange Man's bad, you have to acknowledge that this does not make any sense to have Joe Biden get so many more votes than Barack Obama in 2008. You know, one of the most historic elections of our time, 10 million more votes than him. Be for real. Okay, you got all kind of problems with the mail-in ballots and ballots being hacked, allegedly. You need to look into each situation, find out what's going on, and then deliver a clear result. So yeah, if the electors vote for Joe, then it is what it is. But I think it's going to be a conflict when the electors meet. I say keep all eyes on that. I think it'll be December the 14th or the 15th, right around mid-December. They're going to meet. Keep your eyes on that. All right. Keep your eyes on the whole cases going on right now and all the individual cases that are happening as it relates to voter fraud and whatnot. Keep an eye on that. Don't just say, oh, it's over, and just have that be that. If you do that, just say the same thing from here on out, because it'll never be a victory again. Oh, and as I close, I got to add one more thing. Another reason why, if I'm Trump, I'm not going to concede, and I have faith in court action finding some smoking guns. How does Trump get 8 to 10 to 12 million more votes, strengthen the base? You flip like what, 10 to 12 or 14 House seats, but you lose by what, 4, 5, 6 million votes. And Joe Biden breaks every record in election history. It does not make any sense. Just mathematically, And math at a particular point, we're talking about statistics is a science. It's funny how the left say believe in the science when it comes to climate change and stuff like that, but not about stuff like this. Don't concede, fight it until the bitter end, and whatever happens, happens as a result of the fight. But one thing you don't want to do is just lay down, roll over, and just give up. Because if you do that, then the other side, they'll keep on fighting as they have been fighting and they beat you every time. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Is Trump doing the right thing by not conceding until he has to? Until the electors say, all right, Joe Biden, you're the guy. And really, if that happens, I still might not concede because I'm not sure how the court action would happen, but that might be able to overturn the electors. If there is this big smoking gun found, or if you have more smoking guns that are found with all kind of election fraud and interference, and then it amounts to enough to overturn the election, how would that work even after the electors say, all right, Joe Biden is the guy and he won, you got to, transition or whatever? How would that really work? I would presume that you have to do something else. You can't just say, oh, well, it's over, so wait, I don't care about the findings of the investigation. You got to be able to do something else. And I think that could happen. But like I said, keep your eyes on the prize. Mid-December, you'll see the electors vote. And I think by that time, we'll have much more evidence as it relates to the court action and or much more progress as it relates to the court action. And then we'll get a better picture of how we're going to look here in the future, talking about the president, vice president, etc. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.